the end of the work week, which can only mean one thing. It is time for Fine Arts Friday. So we're going to take a journey into Sherwood Forest as the Academy of Arts Logos Theater is bringing Robin Hood to life on stage. And joining me now are Ronan and Sarah. Thank you guys so much for stopping in.
Thanks for having us.
I feel like the story of Robin Hood is a favorite for so many, but what can our audience expect from your version?
Yeah, so it is an original retelling, and we've had a lot of different versions of Robin Hood done over the years, but this one kind of takes a different approach towards Robin and his struggle to figure out how to do what's right, because he's obviously stealing from the poor, which isn't necessarily a good thing, but he wants to do a good thing. So it's kind of delving into his character a little bit in that sense and how he's combating the corruption with Prince John. So it's kind of a new take on that.
Yeah, how exciting for the audience there. And you are a master's student.
Yes.
And you were just telling me that Robin Hood is actually kind of your project before graduating. So what led you to want to do this story?
Yeah, so I was looking at stories that people knew, that they were recognizable, and then that would have powerful truths in them. And I felt like Robin Hood was something I grew up with, where I loved Robin Hood. And then as I got older, I was like, but was it actually the right thing to steal from people?
Right.
Because it really wasn't combating the evil, and there's been different versions that have done a really good job of that, where he does actually go and fight Prince John, and he fixes the problem. But robbing the rich to give to the poor doesn't actually solve anything. It kind of just is like a Band-Aid solution. So with that, there were a lot of messages in there that I felt could be communicated very strongly and kind of new for a lot of us that I hadn't had growing up, and so that's why I chose Robin Hood.
I love that. And Sarah, you are the conservatory assistant. You've already graduated from the master's program. So what is it like to now to still get to kind of help out another production in process?
Yeah, it's such a blessing. It is really, really neat. Just being able to go through it, and I got to put my hand in a lot of things with costumes and makeup and sound and lights and all those things, but then being able to step away from that and the directing and all those things and then help our master students do the same thing, it's pretty neat. And it's cool to come at it from that different perspective, because sometimes someone on the outside can see something different,
Right.
Because Ronan has so much in his head because it's his vision and it's an incredible show. So any way I can help is a real privilege.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, you're obviously Robin Hood.
Yes.
Which I love that, you loved it growing up and now you get to be Robin Hood.
What a dream role.
Yeah.
And you're also the director.
Yes.
How do you balance that?
So it's actually been kind of a process, you might say. Once we got into rehearsals, I figured out very quickly that I just needed a stand-in to kind of figure out where I wanted things to go. And then when we go back and we review, I'll be stepping in and I'll be walking through those scenes, and I'll have one of my assistants will be recording everything so I can go back and I can tweak my own performance. Because it's hard to direct yourself when you can't see it.
Right.
But that's kind of how I'm doing. I'm kind of going through it and then I'll step into it after.
One of those moments you wish you could be in two places at once, but you can't. So I love how you're making it work. Was there anything else about directing that was maybe a surprise to you or that you've really enjoyed?
I think the directing has been a lot, not easier than I expected, but it's been a lot more enjoyable than I was anticipating, just because working with actual people has brought so much to the story that they're bringing those characters to life better than I would have even when I was writing it. So it's one of those things where I can lean into their instincts and I can lean into their personalities and what their decisions are on stage, and then I'm just tweaking it a little bit so it's all staying in the same direction. And that's been really, really enjoyable.
Obviously a lot of work has gone into the show, so for both of you, what do you hope kind of the audience takes away when they finally get to see it?
Yeah, so for me, I hope that the audience takes away doing what's right regardless of the consequences and regardless of what people say. Because often, like, Robin's robbing the rich and he's giving to the poor, and the people love that. The people think he's a hero for it because obviously it's helping them, but it's not actually helping them long term. And so you have to kind of sometimes sacrifice your present for the future. And it's one of those things where he has to make a hard decision to do something that actually has more of a consequence for him for the sake of everybody else. And I think that that's really what I want people to take away, is that it's never wrong to do the right thing. It's more important to do the right thing sooner rather than later.
Absolutely. And for you?
Yeah, I would echo that. I mean, I I think about theater as just, it's such a beautiful thing, and it's such an impactful thing. And I think a lot of times we think of it as entertainment, which, I mean, it is, but it has such power. So I just really hope that the audience can come and really see those messages, and that it makes them think, you know, and it really impacts them.
Absolutely. Well, this is all so exciting. Thank you both so much for stopping in. And of course, if you are interested, Robin Hood is taking place at the Academy of Arts Logos Theater from February 21st through March 1st. We did check, and there are just a handful of tickets left, so you're going to want to get on that. So we'll have more information on our website, foxcarolina.com.
And now